In 1943, with World War II raging across Europe, the Allies were planning a crucial invasion of southern Europe. Sicily was the obvious target, and Hitler knew it, but the British needed the Germans to look elsewhere. What followed would become one of the most audacious deception operations in history, known as Operation Mincemeat. The idea was simple, yet chilling. To fool the Nazis, British intelligence would use a dead body, dressed as a Royal Marine officer, carrying fake documents that would convince the Germans the Allies planned to invade Greece and Sardinia, not Sicily. The plan was the brainchild of Ewan Montagu and Charles Cholmondeley of British Naval Intelligence. They believed that if they could place these documents where the Germans would find them, they could misdirect German forces away from Sicily and save countless Allied lives. But first, they needed a body. They found a suitable corpse, that of Glyndwr Michael, a homeless man who had died from ingesting rat poison in London. His death was officially unremarkable, another forgotten soul in wartime Britain, but in death he would become Major William Martin, Royal Marines, a man who never existed but would fool an entire enemy war machine. The British dressed the body in a military uniform, complete with every detail needed to make the deception believable. They placed personal items in his pockets to build a credible backstory, including a photograph of a fictional fiancée named Pam and a pair of love letters. They even included receipts, a theater ticket stub, and a bill from a London tailor to complete the illusion of a living man. But the most important items were the documents suggesting that the Allies intended to invade Greece and Sardinia. These documents were designed with meticulous care, making them appear urgent and confidential, addressed between senior Allied commanders. On April 30th, 1943, the body was released off the coast of Huelva, Spain, from the submarine HMS Seraph. Spain was neutral, but teeming with German spies, and British intelligence was confident that the documents would find their way into German hands. The Spanish authorities recovered the body and notified the British, who politely requested the documents be returned, pretending they were of utmost importance, further convincing the Germans of their authenticity. Meanwhile, German intelligence had already photographed and analyzed every page before sending them back. The information traveled up the German command chain, eventually reaching Hitler himself. Convinced by the content of the documents, Hitler redirected significant German forces to Greece and the Balkans, pulling divisions and defensive resources away from Sicily, exactly as the British had hoped. When the Allies launched Operation Husky, the invasion of Sicily, in July 1943, they encountered far less resistance than they had expected. The operation was a success, and the deception had worked flawlessly, saving countless Allied lives in the process. The Germans remained convinced for weeks that the real invasion would come elsewhere, allowing the Allies to establish a strong foothold in Sicily, which became the critical gateway to the liberation of Italy and a turning point in the weakening of Nazi control over southern Europe. Operation Mincemeat became one of the most successful wartime deception operations ever executed, a perfect example of how strategic cunning and the willingness to embrace the unthinkable could change the course of history. For many years, the details of the operation remained classified, hidden from the world. It wasn't until decades later that the full story emerged, revealing how a homeless man who had died alone in London became a hero in death, carrying false papers across the sea to mislead the Nazi war machine. In the shadowy world of espionage and deception, few stories are as remarkable as the man who, in death, became the ultimate secret agent, deceiving an entire enemy regime and helping to turn the tide of war. This is the story of Operation Mincemeat, a mission that proved that wars can be won not only on the battlefield, but also through cunning, deception, and the bravery to execute a plan that few would have dared to consider.